Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading. It's third time lucky, hopefully with this reading. I'm having trouble with a barking dog next door and hopefully he's quiet now and I can start this reading and get through it in one piece. Luckily it's a short reading, 5-card reading using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, which is standard Rider-Waite. And because I've done this reading a couple of times before, I have shuffled more than usual. So I think Universe really wants me to make sure that we have the right reading for you. And the reading is on Princess Eugenie and Catherine, her feelings towards Catherine. We all know, well, I'm sure most of you do by now, that Meghan Markle finally popped up, but just after I did that reading on her yesterday. I claim no power over her for making her suddenly pop up. It seems more like she popped up finally because Catherine popped up. Catherine on her first solo trip overseas since the lockdown. She was in Denmark doing spectacularly well. And looking like she was having roaring good time as well. And so up popped Princess Eugenie and Jack being taken out to dinner in Santa Barbara by Harry and Meghan. Harry looking worse for wear in my opinion. Meghan looking really quite large and strange. Photographed by Backgrid, which is their favorite go-to paparazzi crowd, released by TMZ. Nobody bothered in the UK even to pick up the photos. The newspapers like the Daily Mail, which normally would have paid for those photos, didn't bother. But there they were. It looked quite a staged scenario. Meghan and Harry very visible, facing a window. Security concerns seemingly out that window. But Princess Eugenie there, and I wonder, and many people are wondering, if the thing that Meghan and Eugenie really have in common is their mutual dislike of Catherine. Catherine the commoner, of course, who will one day be queen. Something that seems to have put Eugenie's nose out of joint. And so that's what the reading is going to be now, the 5-card reading, how Princess Eugenie feels about Catherine, Catherine as a person, Catherine as one day queen. And did she really try to break up William and Catherine, which some people have said, all allegedly, of course. And is this what binds Meghan and Eugenie? This mutual dislike, resentment towards Catherine. She's tall, she's beautiful, she seemingly can do no wrong. William has stuck with her for many years and has failed to fall violently in love with anyone Eugenie has thrown in his path, or fall violently in love with Meghan Markle herself for that matter. And of course, tarot reading, and all for entertainment purposes. And underlying energy of this reading, the Ten of Swords. And that we're talking about Princess Eugenie here and her feeling about Catherine. I think she would like to ruin Catherine. That's a very hard thing to say, a very harsh thing to say. And of course, I have to say, it is just my opinion. But when the Ten of Swords comes out and you see that person lying prone on the ground with those 10 swords in them, it's really a feeling of intense hatred that is coming through. Those 10 swords being very deliberately placed in that person's back. And I hate to say it, I hate to feel such malice off a card. All allegedly, disclaimer in the description box, this really feels as if she really hates her, can't stand her, has gone out of her way to actually make life difficult for Catherine, would like to ruin her. So heart of this 5-card reading, that's the underlying energy. These are the actual 5 cards. For a heart of this reading, and I have specifically asked if what bonds Meghan and Princess Eugenie is this dislike of Catherine. Is it what bonds them? Wheel of Fortune in reverse. That is the bad luck card. The feeling, well, so many things are coming to me that I actually can't speak right now. Wishing possibly that they could undo her good fortune, that she is far too lucky, things go far too well for her, and really they would like to knock her down a little bit, or even a lot, make her fall off that wheel. It does seem to be, because it's Major Arcana, it's a massive card, the Wheel of Fortune. It is about timing, it is about good fortune, it is about them, I think, wishing that she would fall from grace and that she would struggle and she would suffer. That is a card of terrible suffering. Is the underlying energy of this reading, which colors all the other cards. If you're wondering why I do this the way I do it, this card colors all of the others, and it colors the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and tells me that they really want her to fall from grace, fall flat on her face, come unstuck. And it does seem to be something that they share, a mutual animosity towards her. So how does Princess Eugenie feel towards Catherine as a human being? What does she think of her as a human being? The Hanged Man in reverse. I think that Princess Eugenie is tired of being compared to her. Catherine, tall, willowy, always looks wonderful, sensational in fact. And we've seen many photos over the years of Princess Eugenie and Beatrice walking behind her, because they have to when she's with William, and not looking as glamorous, not looking as sensational. They both aren't blessed with the best figures. Princess Beatrice, of course, has tried really hard to stay slim and succeeded for the most part, but they really aren't blessed with those Middleton genes. And it must be very difficult to be constantly compared unfavorably with Catherine. The Hanged Man is about being sacrificed, martyred, left dangling. And of course, for the York sisters, the princesses, they have been left dangling to some extent. They're not working royals. They've had to go out and earn their own keep, and they lost their protection. They are not part of the slimmed down monarchy going forward, so they really don't have any particular role. And they have been treated quite cruelly by the British press, and I can imagine that's another reason why Meghan and Princess Eugenie have bonded, both feeling that they have been compared unfavorably towards Catherine, and sick of it, because the Hanged Man is in the reverse. Sick of being treated like that, sick of being victimized, sacrificed, sick of being made to feel bad, made to look bad. She really doesn't like it, and it's a major arcana. It's a resentment in there for me. Interesting energy coming off that card. How does she feel about Catherine becoming queen one day? She will have to bow to her. Catherine will be raised over her as queen. She really is very unhappy about it. The Four of Swords in reverse. Four of Swords, when it's upright, you rest, you recover, you heal, you think, you meditate, you reflect, you pray. You are defeated, but you retire from life for a period to recover from that defeat. The card is in the reverse. This is something she cannot deal with. She can't handle it. And it's sitting with this Ten of Swords energy as the underlying energy. It's very negative energy, very difficult energy. It's something that Eugenie really cannot accept. She cannot forgive. She cannot make her peace with the fact that this commoner, Kate Middleton, is one day going to be the Queen of England, is one day going to stand in her grandmother's shoes, and she, Princess Eugenie, is probably still going to be having to earn her keep, working at an art gallery or whatever she does, struggling for money, and really sidelined, and she cannot accept this. So hidden energy in this reading. Has she gone out of her way to try and derail Catherine and William's romance in the past? Again, or just for tarot, just entertainment purposes? Did she try and set Prince William up with other girls? Aristocrats, fellow aristocrats, did she try and break them up? Let's see, did she do it? The Empress. I'm inclined to say that she did. Looking at that Empress there, she has a very regal, well, of course she is the Empress, she's the queen of all queens combined. She is very regal. She's the top female energy in the tarot, the Empress. Generally, she's a very lovely energy. She's very creative, very abundant, very generous, kind-hearted, and all the rest of it. But she is regal. She is aristocratic in that setting, in that depiction, born, to the manner born, shall we say. And I do get the feeling from that card, from that Empress card, that Princess Eugenie, it's not a malicious energy, but of course what do we have is our underlying energy. When you put those two together, it colors that card, and that is what an underlying energy does for a reading. It colors everything that you read. So the Empress card, which is generally a very positive, very lovely energy, can be colored by that Ten of Swords. And I know what, let's throw some a pretty blonde girl, a Cressida Bonus kind of a girl in Prince William's way and see what happens. Is he going to fall for her? Is he going to dump Ten of Swords? Is he going to dump that Kate Middleton? And we're going to see the back of her, and it's going to be one of my chums, somebody that I know, somebody I'm comfortable with, somebody who would never make me look as ridiculous in the press as I sometimes have looked in the press, because she's so tall, she's so beautiful, she's so elegant, even when she didn't have the really expensive clothes that she does now. Well, let's take that back, because she sometimes wears very ordinary off the peg kind of clothes that we can all afford, we can all get in the high street, we can all go and buy them, but the vast majority of us are not going to look nearly as good in them as Catherine. Eugenie wears very expensive clothes, but doesn't always necessarily look the best in them, my opinion. So the outcome for Princess Eugenie and her feelings towards Catherine, how is it going to go? Doesn't look good. Wow. A Tower. There is going to be some kind of precipitous moment in this relationship. It is not Catherine falling here. It's not Catherine falling. It's more likely that I don't get it, even it's Princess Eugenie falling. I think it's Harry and Meghan falling. The Tower is a moment of enlightenment always. When that lightning strikes your crown chakra, it forces you open, it forces the light in. Anything that's not good in your life goes falling down. Who's falling down in front of our eyes at the moment is Harry and Meghan. So Princess Eugenie may actually at some stage wake up, and she may see the truth of the situation, the harsh reality of the situation. The Tower is not a comfortable energy. It is a shock. It's a rude surprise, and she may well get a rude surprise somewhere along the line that opens her eyes to what is going on. All kinds of things could happen though, because just had a horrible thought as I'm looking at this card, the Tower. It's one of the divorce cards for me as a reader, the Tower. And divorce doesn't necessarily have to be Harry and Meghan. Could be Harry and Meghan. We all see it. I see it in my readings, and I know from what you say in comments and what I see around on social media that other readers see it too. But the Tower could even be Princess Eugenie going through some kind of shocking moment in her life, shocking experience. She's already had her father fall from grace very spectacularly. There could be other falls for her in her own little world. It's not a little world. It's not nearly as small as, for instance, my world is. But in her world, there could be some shocks, some bumps along the way that force her to open her eyes and to look around and to see the allegiances that she's made. And this is familiar energy to me. I did a reading on her, I think, right in the early days of my channel, and the choices that she's making, the allegiances she's forming, and the fact that she might have to rethink them in future. The Tower is a very uncomfortable energy. It's a very hard reality that she's going to be facing at some stage, whether from her own misfortunes or from watching Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's misfortunes coming in the future. But the dog is confirming that for me. So a lot of major arcana in this reading, 4 in a 5-card reading, all coloured by this Ten of Swords. She really, I think, resents Catherine. I think there's no way around that. I don't see any fondness for her in here. I see resentment, struggling to deal with the fact that she is one day going to have to bow or curtsy or whatever it is to Catherine as queen. and possibly trying to set William up with her own friends, from her own ranks, her own social status, her own class, and but all falling down for Princess Eugenie in the future, and if not directly for Princess Eugenie, then definitely for Harry and Meghan. So be careful which side you pick in something as archetypal as this story is, because it's going to be difficult for her in future, I would say. So that's the reading. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.